beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're talking about the new ColourPop Valentine's Day collection. This one is called Lost in Love, and we have a lot of pieces to talk about for this one. This collection is currently available. You can find it now on the ColourPop site. I'm not sure if it will be available at Ulta or not. This seems like a great candidate for an Ulta release, but I haven't seen definitive info on that yet. So I'll try my best to keep you posted, but I'm filming this video just a couple days after the collection launched. At least as of the time I'm filming this video, everything is still in stock. I'm kind of surprised. I thought that these little heart-shaped compacts, which have a lip and cheek balm in it, and the little heart-shaped sponge that changes color with water, I thought that these had a good chance of selling out, and they're still available here a couple days later. So if you're interested in any of these things that we're going to look at today, you can find them on the ColourPop website, and you can use my affiliate code. It's just my first name, Amanda, and it will save you 10% on any of the individual items. Codes don't apply to the sets and vaults and kits and things like that. So for example, you decide to go for the full collection set, you can't use a coupon code on that. But if you just want to pick up one or two things, then you can use my code, Amanda, and that will save you a couple bucks. I am going to show you some comparisons for this Lost in Love palette, and I'm going to show you an application demo. Of course, I'm wearing the palette. I'm wearing one of the Jelly Mud shadows. I'm wearing one of these lip and cheek balms just on my cheeks. We'll also do some lip swatches with these 3 ultra glossy lip shades. So there's a lot to see here. I'm going to give you as much information as I possibly can, and I'm going to give you my thoughts along the way. So let's get into the close-ups and swatches first.
We're starting off with the Heart Blending Sponge. I think this is one of the most unique pieces, definitely in this collection, but just in general that we've seen in a while from ColourPop. This changes color with water, which I will demonstrate here in a minute, but I just want to give you a quick size comparison first. This is basically the same length as a regular sponge. I'm showing you a Singe Beauty one here, but it's the same size as the AOA sponges and Beauty Blender and all that. It's just a little bit thinner, and of course, the shape is slightly different. Now, I have warm water here, but I think that this works with just any temperature water. I don't think it necessarily needs to be super hot or super cold. I'm just using warm here because that's what I usually use for my sponges. As you can see, it automatically turns pink, but almost as soon as it's not submerged anymore, it starts quickly turning back to red. I will say this sponge has a sort of harder texture when it's not wet. It's not quite as pillowy soft as I prefer, but once it's moistened, sorry if you hate that word, it does become fluffy and soft. Even when the color changes back, the texture doesn't. So I think this is really cool. I love this. I love the little accessories that they do. I always think they're interesting. And bonus, something like a sponge is universal. Anybody can use it. Now we do have a Glitterly Obsessed glitter gel. This is for body. You can put it in your hair. This is not for use on the eye, just a reminder. We do have some special packaging here. There's a pink lid for the screw top pot, and inside, just a reminder to keep the stopper. This helps keep the moisture in, which keeps the jelly. Personally, I'm not a big glitter gal to begin with. Body glitter, hair glitter, it's just not something that fits into my personal aesthetic or lifestyle. But, I think this makes sense for this collection. I don't particularly love the sort of reddish pinky base here, but you know what? I don't hate it either. It's just not necessarily for me, but I wish that there was some little heart-shaped glitters in here or something, I kept hoping that I was going to see that peeking through, but this is Sparks Glitter Gel. Now let's move on to something I am super excited about, and that is the Jelly Much Shadow. There are 3 different Jelly Much shadows in this collection. They're priced at $9 each. The packaging on this collection, side note, is just so cute. I love it. It's cutesy, it's bubbly, it's just adorable and cartoony, and it's everything that I want. same style of special pink screw top packaging on these Jelly Much shadows. Now, I know the Jelly Much is one of those love it or hate it type of products. I do see how a lot of folks can struggle with these. And I have a whole video about the Jelly Much shadows. I made it many years ago, but it still holds true today. You can rehydrate these if yours dry out. And I will show you later in the demo my preferred way of using them on the lids. But when these are applied in the right way, not that there's really a wrong way, whatever works for you is fine. But when these are applied the right way for me, they last all day. I don't get fallout from them, and they keep my lids metallic and shiny, which is exactly what I want out of an eyelid. So I'm a huge fan of the Jelly Much shadows in general. I like all three shades that they chose for this collection, and not to give a total review spoiler, but I prefer these eye products over the palette. I think that these are more interesting and more special and more likely to get used by me. So these are definitely some of my favorite things in this entire collection. I realize that this formula isn't for everybody, but it is definitely for me. I'm excited for these. I wish there was more colors. I wish that I had more Jelly Much shadows in place of the eyeshadow palette, to be completely honest with you. Now, we have a new formula here. This is a lip and cheek balm. These are, again, such cute packaging. I know everybody goes gaga for these little heart-shaped compacts, me included. They are adorable, perfect for Valentine's collection. I absolutely 10 out of 10 love this idea. I like the formula on these. It works better for me on the cheeks than the lips, but it may just be the color choice lending to that. I do prefer this as a cream cheek product versus a lip balm type of product. But my main problem here, I hate that I have a complaint about this because I think this is so, so cute and just has so much potential. But my main problem here is all three of these shades end up looking almost exactly the same. And I have very, very pale, pasty skin. So typically, if there's contrast to be had, it shows up decently well on me, especially because I have a fairly neutral undertone. But once these shades are even the slightest bit blended out, like you can see if it's super, super piled on there, you can tell a little bit of a difference. But I don't know about you, that's not how I'm going to use a balm type of product. Once these are blended out, even this deepest one that looks like this gorgeous, rich, reddish, magenta, pink type of color, once it's applied to my skin, it looks just like the other two. And I'm going to show you a demo here in just a minute of me using these three different lip and cheek balms. They look exactly the same to me. I realize if we dissected this, maybe we could notice a little bit of depth or undertone or something that's different. But once this is on my face, these all look exactly the same. I really love the idea. I like the formula, like I said, more for cheeks than lips, just a personal preference there, I guess. But I wish that there was some more variety in the color here. Imagine if there was a really rich brown, a purple, a burgundy red, something that was going to give us some contrast, because these three colors, they look exactly the same on me unless I did a super piled on swatch, which that's never how I'm going to wear it. So I don't see the point in swatching it that way for you because I doubt you're going to wear it that way either. On the lips, I think they're a little bit easier to distinguish, but not much. And I'm just not a bright bubblegum Barbie pink lip person. I think that it looks really, really good on other people. It's just not my preference, and I don't find it to be particularly flattering on me. But I will show you one of the shades applied to my lips too. I tried to give these the most benefit of the doubt that I could because I was excited for this idea. I do think that these lip and cheek balms and the sponge are the most interesting and innovative products in this collection, and they give me old school ColourPop vibes back a couple years ago when they were always coming out with new formulas and different things that were exciting and cute packaging. And I got those vibes from this collection, and part of the reason is this lip and cheek balm idea. It's just the colors that fell flat for me. But hopefully, we'll see more of this formula in the future with a better variety of shades. Now, let's move on to the Ultra Glossy Lips. These are priced at $9 a piece. This is the same old school Ultra Glossy Lip formula, but these had a really sweet sort of candy scent to them. I don't know if they've had this for a while and I just haven't noticed, but they have sort of a sweet cherry candy type of scent. So I really like that. I also love, like irrationally love the packaging on here with the pink caps with the little iridescent hearts. This has the flat paddle applicator. I think these cute factor are some of the most adorable pieces in the collection. I do prefer this peachy nudie shade, but I think all three shades ended up looking pretty good on me. The hot pink and then the pinky red do look pretty similar on my lips, but I don't even mind that they're sparkly. That's typically not something that I love, but this sort of peachy, pale, sparkly shade really, really looked good on me. And I guess I'm just growing and evolving as a person in my preferences because these are really cute. Something about the way that they're packaged and the sweet candy scent maybe felt a little nostalgic to me. I love that. I am unapologetic. Take me back to my lip smacker days with your adorable packaging and yummy, delicious scents and sparkly, sparkly lip gloss. I'm here for it. I'm most likely to continue wearing One Kiss, but I can definitely recommend any of these, whatever really strikes your fancy, because I think that these are one of the better products in the collection. I feel like I keep saying that, but I think that if I was going to recommend, hey, go and buy something from this collection, I would say pick one lip gloss, one of the lip and cheek balms, and then either the sponge or the Jelly Much, whatever you think you're more likely to get use out of. But in general, I don't think that you need all three, but if this gets you excited like it does for me, then I can recommend this product, even though usually I'm not jumping out of my seat over lip glosses. Now, let's get to the final piece in the collection. This is the Lost in Love palette. This is priced at 18 US dollars. I love the packaging style. I do think that the packaging fits the shades inside. I'm happy to see that despite all of these red and pink and shimmery, glittery shades, we don't have any eye safety warnings on this palette. So I'm happy to see that. And I don't hate it. I just don't feel as excited about it as I want to. I think if this palette came out a couple years ago, I would have been more excited about it. But there are some things that I think are lacking. I will get to that in a second. Let me give you the basics. There's no mirror in this palette. These are the larger size pans. They are magnetic pans. We have two of the pearlescent glitter shades. We have 4 just regular shimmer shades and then 6 true mattes. There are no mattes with glitter in this palette. Color story wise, I think that this makes sense for the collection. It matches the packaging. I think that we have a few too many shades that are going to look too similar on the eye, and the repetitiveness kind of makes it feel a little lackluster. I wish that we would have either gotten some contrast pops of color or maybe just some more range, because this feels like it really only goes from very light to mid-tones and we're missing some depth. And I think that lack of depth is also sort of exacerbated by the what I consider to be lackluster shimmers in here. They are very satiny shimmers, which I don't hate as an option, but I wish that we did have that balanced out with something foily instead of these glittery, pearlescent glitter shades. I just feel like something's missing here. The idea is there, it's almost there for me, but it's just missing something. It is missing maybe some texture, some depth, just a little pop of contrast. Even if they had some yellow or a bright purple or just something to give it a pop, because it does feel very one note. I don't imagine getting a lot of different eye looks out of this palette. It feels like you're gonna get a mid-tone bright pink or a mid-tone orangey pink look out of this palette every time. And I don't have a problem with looks like that. I just wish that I had something more dynamic, a little bit more options. I mean, when we have 12 shades, I feel like with 12 eyeshadow shades, you should have more than, two or three different eye looks that are coming out of the palette. And that's just my personal preference. I think that I grade more harshly on ColourPop palettes because I have tried them all. I'm a huge fan. So my expectations are really high for new things to come out on the market, particularly from a brand that I love so much. For my Jelly Much application, I know I'm switching gears really quickly here. What I like to do is put one thin layer over the area that I want my Jelly Much shadow, completely let it dry, do the other eye while it dries, and then go back over and do a second layer for a super sparkly opaque finish. And that keeps it from creasing and it keeps it in place all day. That's just the way I like to apply my Jelly Much shadow. I also prefer to apply the Jelly Much shadows with my fingertip, but if you are going to use a brush, I recommend using a synthetic bristle brush. That way it doesn't cling on to the product too much and it'll help that product deposit more evenly over your lid. Just a little Jelly Much side note tutorial here. Okay, let's sum it up. I think the sponge is really cute and one of the most interesting products. I love that it's universal. Anybody can use it because everybody can use a sponge no matter what. I don't love the glitterly obsessed. That's just a personal preference because I don't use products like that. And I also don't love the palette just because I think it's almost there, it just wasn't pushed far enough for me personally. You may feel differently, and that's okay too. I do love the ultra glossy lips. I do love the Jelly Much shadows. I recommend any of those. And for the lip and cheek balms, I love the idea. I want to love all of them, but I really recommend only picking up one just because I think in the end, all the colors look pretty similar. So I hope that we see more of those, and I just hope that ColourPop keeps pushing because this feels like a good start for them. I think last year they did a lot of very mediocre collections. Sorry, ColourPop, I love you, but this feels like the start of something interesting, and I hope that we keep seeing new innovative formulas. I hope we keep seeing exciting products, cute packaging, good smelling lip products, shiny, shiny eyeshadows. I really want to see some of that old OG ColourPop spark coming back. This could be it. I think 2024 is the year where they just reinvent themselves and bring back that old fun excitement that we all used to get from the brand. I think a lot of people feel like this past year was a little bit humdrum for them. So I am still pulling for them. You know me. I don't give up easily, okay? I'm still buying the MAC holiday collections. Let's just call it like it is. But I do think that this color story is not anything new for them. As you can see, I have many, many, many palettes here that are fulfilling these same colors. So, as for the comparisons, it's not always just me dissing them and saying they've already done this because not everybody has every single ColourPop palette. Maybe you are compelled to buy this Lost in Love palette because of the comparisons, because it's similar to something that you missed out on previously. Or maybe these comparisons will convince you that you already have these colors in your collection. Either way, I think that it's useful. At least I hope that it's useful to you. I hope that I did not stain my arm so red for no reason. I'm sure I probably missed a couple of useful palettes in here. I did have somebody suggest the Sweet Talk palette, and I gotta tell you, Sweet Talk is way more brown and neutral than Lost in Love is. So, if you were wondering about that one, maybe there would have been 2 or 3 shades similar, but in general, Lost in Love is a lot more red and pink, whereas Sweet Talk is a lot more brown. That wraps up all of my thoughts, all of my comparisons, so I hope that was helpful.
That's everything for this Lost in Love collection. I am lost in love with this collection. I feel so many of those old school ColourPop vibes with the really cutesy packaging and some new interesting products. So I'm here for it. I'm really excited about this one. I didn't get excited about a lot of the collections from last year, so I feel like this is a good sign. Good sign for this year. Fingers crossed that ColourPop comes back to us with some of these same good old feelings, at least for me. I would love to know what you think about this collection. Are you interested? Are you going to be picking anything up? What are you hoping to see from ColourPop this year? I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Excuse me. Excuse me. Let me double check before I say that, because I'm sure I'll say it and then somebody will be mad if I'm wrong. I'll also show you. I'm fine. Have I had this dog hair stuck to my eyebrow this whole time? Love that for me. Love that for me. Not really. These glosses smell so good. What is this scent? It smells like candy. Watch, I'm gonna look it up and I'll be like, it smells like candy, dummy. It says sweet cherry oil, so maybe it's a cherry scent. Do all their glosses have that? Why don't I know these things? They don't tell me everything. They don't care to tell me things like that. They probably think nobody cares. I care. It smells like candy. I love it. Okay, this one is One Kiss. Matching nails. Matching nail game is back. This one is Taken. Sounds like an action movie. Maggie gets so mad when they come to pick up the trash. She can't believe that every week these guys in their loud truck return to torture her. I zoned out. I have no idea how long I filmed that lip swatch for. Could have been 20 seconds. Could have been 3.5 minutes. No idea. I'm not a big pink gal. I'm wearing these little earrings from my Etsy shop. I have this, it's kind of red and pink sweater. I painted my nails pink. I was really giving it my best shot. I think at this point in my life, I know this is going to sound crazy. I think I would rather wear blue eyeshadow than pink eyeshadow. Who is she? Who's even talking right now? What? Where was I? I need to go make some more of these for my Etsy shop because these would be such cute little Valentine's earrings. They have such a neutrality to them almost that you could really wear these all the time. They don't scream Valentine's Day. You could just wear them whenever. These are actually really cute. I'm going to restock these because I think I only have a couple pairs left. I need to restock a lot of stuff in my Etsy store. Ever since the holidays, my shop has been a little bit neglected, but I have a lot of cool stuff that I want to make this year. Etsy is kind of rough right now. It is the Wild West. There are so many like drop shipper people who aren't actually making things, and it really just it makes it harder for those of us who actually are making things. But you know what? I like to make stuff. I'm gonna just keep going for it and hopefully eventually it'll be okay. I mean, it is okay now. Hopefully eventually it'll get better, but what can you do? This blush actually looks so much smoother and nicer. I thought when I heard balm, I thought that it might be a little waxy. I gotta go. My kid needs me to pick him up from school. So I gotta go. Thanks for watching. Love your face. I will finish this video some other time. Love your face so much. Okay, bye.